It is Saturday, August 10th, 2024. 72 degrees Fahrenheit here in the San Gabriel, San Marino, Arcadia, Monrovia, Pasadena, South Pasadena, Hastings Ranch, Old Town, Los Angeles County. I am always thinking about things to say. And today it'd probably be a double video because I didn't produce one yesterday. I produced a partial one, but I decided to go ahead and produce it anyway because it's showing the real thoughts of Robin Deschamps and how he talks. Well, anyway, I'm eating Einstein. I'm going back to my usual, my 2-egg turkey sausage. I'm going back to the real deal. And a little bit different, I get my vanilla cold brew, which almost tastes like vanilla sweet cream. And you know something? Depending on how Corner Bakery makes theirs, this tastes just like it. That's what I just said. There is close to what Corner Bakery makes theirs when they don't do it right or when they do it right. Well, anyway, high-end restaurants. You know, high-end restaurants, are you sometimes afraid to go into those restaurants because of the ambiance, because of the price, because of feeling uncomfortable? You know, I know that I don't really go into one high-end restaurant, really. And that is the Derby. That's pretty high-end still. People don't dress the way they used to back in the day. I know people of color, minority, we used to dress up everywhere going to these restaurants, but we fell into the habit of dressing like everybody else now and being more comfortable when we go in. And sometimes we walk by these places and don't want to go in there because, you know what I mean, they just don't feel comfortable. And of course the price is high, but maybe the prices are not that high, but they are high enough. But I noticed over the years that a lot of the restaurants that we thought were high-end back in the day were just not high-end, but I would call them semi-high-end. But then again, depending on how much economic foundation you have, we would go into seafood, lobster. Black Angus is still around. You could call them high-end because they have discounts now. There are some other steakhouses that are not around anymore that I thought were high-end, like the Ponderosa and them, but maybe I'm mistaken. There are the other ones that are in Los Angeles, on La Cienega Restaurant Road. I call that the original Restaurant Road because I didn't know no better because I was raised in Los Angeles. A lot of those restaurants there, high-end like, we go in and eat. But as I was younger, in my 20s, I used to go to restaurants down the beach. A lot of us young entrepreneurs back in the day being a part of the economic system, especially if you were a minority or otherwise. Tony's on the Pier was considered one of those restaurants, I think. There's some other restaurants that I don't even know the name of that I went to. But they were high-end because I was with people. But normally I would not go in those places. Benihana is a high-end type restaurant, only the service is different. So you could say they are. And then again, you have high-end restaurants at just the price. The price is high-end and nothing else. I consider most restaurants, when they look nice on the outside, they look like high-end restaurants, but when you go inside, the prices might be high and it might be low. They're comparable prices, as I always say. They're not too expensive, they're just right. And when you travel, normally you have the pick of the litter. You see a lot of restaurants look like they're in beautiful suites. They all have prices that are nominal, and you think they're high end, but when you go in, they're not. I know sometimes I'm fooled pretty much when I go to places. I pick the same old places. Many restaurants look like they're high end, but they're really semi-high end. They just make everything look beautiful. They got maitre d's, a lot of them. So you could say the higher end restaurants also have maitre d's that are dressed up. And I think that's the really deal really that separates most of them today. But when you're paying double for the food, for the same thing you'd get at another place, that definitely is high end in my book. Now I know when I take cruises, I don't take many. I would like to take 3 or 4 cruises a year. Like some of my contemporaries that I watch that are definitely into the cruise business. Something that I was afraid to do. They have high-end restaurants on those ships. Sometimes you get them for the price of admission. Of course, you got your buffets. But they have 2 or 3 high-end restaurants that I have eaten in. Of course, I feel more comfortable that way because I'm on a ship. But if you don't have a certain amount of credits or points to get that free high-end meal, it does cost. But like myself, I usually don't eat at those high ends unless I get a discount. And that's probably the way I am on the streets. I still don't go to those high-end restaurants because I really can't afford it. But right now, the Derby is probably the only street-worthy high-end restaurant in the San Gabriel. I'm sure there's some others that I won't even go to, but that's the only one I really know about. I don't go really on La Cienega in Los Angeles anymore or some other places. I see high-end restaurants in almost every city in the United States that I don't go into. You do have your expensive seafood places, not just steak, your expensive seafood places. And some steakhouses do sell seafood. and they are very expensive. So I would say that even those that look like semi high-end places, whether you buy the most expensive steak or the most expensive seafood, the price is up there. The prices are way up there. But just like anything else, if it's a special occasion, that is when I go to a high-end restaurant. Even Cheesecake Factory. That's what I said. I used to think all those were high-end restaurants to some degree. And we always go on special occasions. Seafood, lobster, all those Red Lobster, Red Lobster, seafood lobster, Red Lobster. We always went to all these restaurants. They were my favorites. Claim Jumper, I may have to mention them. Black Angus is still one of my favorites. And definitely I do go to Thai places. They look high-end because they're beautiful inside. Now, some of them are not, but the ambiance is great. And so I feel very comfortable in because of the service that they give you. Mexican places, Mexican restaurants, semi high-end. The ambiance is high-end, and the food is usually great in most Mexican restaurants. So yes, to some degree, we do eat high-end, depending on how many times you go out. Some of us go out every week. Some of us eat as if it is high-end because we eat every day. We eat every day out, whether it's for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. I'm not eating high-end. It might seem like I'm eating high-end because I eat all the time out. Maybe to some people, it is. But just like I said, or what did I say? High-end really is whatever restaurant you think that you would like to go to on special occasions or just a friendly walk-through in, and you feel comfortable about eating there. This is Robin Deschamps. Enjoy my Einstein. High-end prices in a fast food way. I still get a discount at the end because I eat there. Is it considered high-end eating? It depends on the eye of the beholder. See you in my next video, folks. Have a great day. High-end, semi-high-end. Just enjoy yourself. Go where you feel comfortable. Take care. But what I did fail to mention is there are a few high-end places where you still have to wear a shirt and tie and maybe a jacket.